can smell you.
Sup?
What's up?
Nothing much.
Slept all day?
I didn't sleep all day. I did do some stuff. Speaking of, I gotta go to my creator dashboard and turn off a thing.
Just don't fuck up your sleep schedule, man.
I'm trying not to. Get this Duolingo shit out of my face. I live 2 exams in a day and I still live. Shit, dude. The first was at 8 a.m. Jesus. Hey, boss, how are you doing today? Silent Hill F fucked me up. I didn't sleep very well last night because my brain just wouldn't turn off. Because it was like, hey, let's think about all this stuff. And my brain's just, and I'm just like, why? Why? Because pain. I'm like, we could do literally anything else. No, that's stupid.
No. This is the special interest I've chosen for you. You're focusing on it.
And I just been like, I did my simple videos today. I did like my spooky day. I did my spooky day video and a correction, like some misinfo correction. And then other than that, I've been trying to learn why people are fascinated with the series Danganronpa. I don't get it. I really don't get Danganronpa and why people like it so much.
I've never heard of it before.
Basically imagine what if Ace Attorney, but high school kids, and every week there's a murderer in the class.
Why hasn't that school been shut down yet?
I don't know.
Like, at the very least, for everyone's safety. That's anime logic. What can you do?
It's anime logic. I don't get it. People like it. I just... I'm not okay with casual cruelty and just, like, death for no reason kind of a thing.
Unless it's Nazis.
Yeah. I mean, there is a girl with swastika eyes in that, so...
What the fuck?
I know! Also,
I was about to say, like, one of my favorite movies is Inglourious Bastards, but then you had to say that.
well, Inglourious Bastards is... I keep thinking it's a comedy, right?
Kind of.
Because, like, it's a bunch of guys, like, LARPing that they're gonna kill Nazis. But, like, the actual one that kills the Nazis in the movie is a girl who, like, burns down, like, a whole officer corps inside a movie theater.
No, they all do that.
Oh, they all do that? Okay.
Yeah, so the plot is basically there's a team called the Inglourious Bastards,
Hey, Shadow.
coined by the Germans, and they're just running around killing as many Nazis as they can get their hands on in Germany.
Mm.
And
Hey, well.
they basically get an opportunity. Hey, there's a huge gathering of German officers and Hitler's gonna be there. Let's try and kill them all. And that's basically the plot of the movie. It's a Tarantino movie.
It's a Quentin Tarantino movie.
Yeah. Don't.
So, I am, I'm very annoyed because people are saying Call didn't make the Space Marine, like the Primaris Marines from scratch. The Emperor gave him everything. I'm like, No. No, he didn't.
By the time Call started the Primaris project, like the Emperor wasn't really involved in anything anymore.
Yeah, because I know the timeline of events. I know my memory because I had to research this shit, and at no point in Call's entire fucking history could he have met with the Emperor.
Yeah.
Because I want everybody to know Belisarius Call is basically the primary character for the Mechanicus right now, because the Mechanicus only have one character. He was officially introduced to us in Gathering Storm, Book 1. And then his backstory would not be elaborated upon until the 2017 book, Wolfsbane. No, 2018 book, sorry. In Wolfsbane, he was just a simple tech adept. So he was a underling under a mistress who worked for Horus. And that lady was trying to make the organs that would improve the Space Marines. So Call was always a quiet loyalist. He just did what he was told. He kept his head down. But events played out where the Space Wolves, because the book focuses on the Space Wolves attacking Horus before the Siege of Terra. And during
from some of the writers have talked about this, it was apparently a problem of like they wrote themselves into a corner because the Space Wolves aren't meant to be on Terra during the Siege of Terra, but they hadn't given them a reason to not be, apparently.
Yeah, so events play out. Horus fights Lehman, and while that shit's going on, a squad of Space Wolves finds Belisarius Call after he just killed his mistress and stole all of her data. And he's like, don't shoot! Don't shoot! I'm on your side! Please, for the love of God, don't kill me! And
Which is a move he will repeatedly do over and over again for the next 10,000 years.
Yep. And so, after that, at no point, could Call have met with the Emperor. Because if the Space Wolves weren't on Terra during the Siege of Terra, when could he have fucking met the Emperor? When could he have, chat? I want to know. I want to know what fucking Orikin's time machine bullshit that he had. I want to know. Because there's a group of people that are fucking convinced that he met with the Emperor when he fucking didn't.
Warp shenanigans.
Also, like
that would be the only explanation.
Also, it's a failure of critical reading by a lot of like deliberately failure of critical reading by a lot of 40k fans, which is like you do realize when you read like the heresy books, like the Black Library of Authors are clearly stating like the whole idea of like the Emperor was this singular genius who created the Space Marines, and here are all the other scientists who were also working on the project, but he was a singular genius. It's them being like, do you see how dumb this is when people talk about singular creators and scientific processes?
I'm gonna have to talk about it tomorrow because like fuck is this annoying. But yeah, like the story goes is that after the events of Wolfsbane and after the Siege of Terra, especially with the crew of the Sisypheum, sacrificing themselves to save the technology that would make the Primaris Marines, Call would meet with Roboute Guilliman, who at some point met Sharokin, then Sharokin handed over the device that Guilliman would need. And then Guilliman and Call met in private, and Call says, I have all this genetic research and everything. I can probably improve upon the Space Marines, but I will need resources to do this. And Guilliman... And time. And Gulliman, not being a fucking idiot, goes, okay, this is a secret project. I'll get you whatever you need, but you do not tell anybody about this. You do not reveal yourself to anybody about this. And you go from there, okay? And Call said,
it's almost certainly like a Mission Impossible situation of like, if you are discovered, I will disavow all knowledge of this. Like,
also, it's the logic of if you can't do it, whoop-de-doo, we're back at square one. Nothing's really changed. If you do succeed, we have what we have now.
Yeah,
and we have Primaris now, so it succeeded.
And again,
I mean, Gelman is also expecting to not get stabbed within the next like 10 years.
yeah. Another thing is that a lot of people are saying, well, Call didn't make the Primaris Marines from scratch. Yes, he did. Call was given all of the research materials that Gulliman could find.
Yeah.
I.e., the Imperial laboratories that he had access to, with none of the context. Yeah. So essentially, imagine your dad's a scientist and his team of scientists. Yeah, they like left notes around and everything. There's like probably a few journals, but that's all you can really give the guy, along with the laboratory equipment. And you just kind of dump it on him and say, figure it out.
Well, also, the people underestimate a lot the sheer amount of resources an Archmagos has at his disposal. Yeah, any Archmagos, not just Call.
But also, it also can come back to this thing of, yeah, it's because it's 40k and they needed them to come from somewhere, so this is the reason. This is literally as good a reason as anywhere else. Like,
they wanted a new, updated model line and needed a reason in lore why they exist.
Mm-hmm. You could argue they did not need a reason in lore, but like they wanted to do that because at the time, and we don't know this yet, and we probably won't know this for about 20 or so years. I think there was other things happening at GW in terms of like what 40k was going to be, and then someone's got cold feet, or they possibly got a new CEO, which is also what happened during the same time.
Yeah. I don't think people realize how destructive the siege was. This is something about like scale and people not understanding scale. When people see the Death Star in Star Wars get blown up, they aren't thinking about all of the crew that's manning it. They're thinking about the individuals you see within it, i.e. Tarkin, the bridge crew, and some of the turbo laser crews inside of it. You weren't thinking about like the actual population size, because that's not what the story's about. The Siege of Terra is such a monumental scope of a battle. But really think about where the main fighting takes place. It takes place in the capital city of Terra, all the way up to near the throne room of the Imperial Palace.
The capital city of Terra, which by the way is the top of Mount Everest.
So
people just forget that fact.
I have the numbers in front of me for the Death Star.
Yep.
And this comes from the official FFG role-playing game. They had 1.2 million military personnel, 400,000 maintenance droids, and 750,000 civilian contractors on it. So that's nearly 2 million people alone.
Yeah, that's probably more on the second one, because it's still. And I was going to say probably more on the second one because it's like still under construction.
You are not thinking about scale when you are reading about a battle or watching it or experiencing it. You're not thinking about the scale. You're thinking about the battle itself.
Now, from an out-of-universe perspective, George Lucas also did not want you to think about scale in that regard, because that's not the story. He's not telling the story of how Luke Skywalker has to struggle with the moral quandary about whether he can, do this and kill hundreds of thousands of people, because that's not what the purpose of the Death Star is within the story of Star Wars. The Death Star is a big thing for the hero to blow up.
It's a giant fuckball that blows up planets. Go stop it.
Or how killing that many civilians honestly made him a terrorist.
I mean, yeah, he's a part of an illegal insurgency.
Yeah.
And the Imperial Palace is subcontinental in size. Yeah, it's
massive.
When you think about the damage, because it's described, like, you have to read the books, like, truly read the books on the Siege of Terra, and read the Chaos Codexes, because the Chaos Codexes go into the siege. The invasion of Terra, the final battle of the Horus Heresy, was so devastating that the tectonic plates of Terra shifted by the sheer weight of orbital bombardment.
In the Carrion Throne, Valerian Valerian the Custodes specifically mentions there are sections of Terra that still haven't been fixed yet from the first siege.
Yeah.
That's how damaged the planet is.
Like, we're talking damage.
And it wasn't in a good state before.
It wasn't.
Yeah, fair.
We're talking about damage, and we're talking about damage not just on a structure scale, but on a physical and psychological scale on the populace.
A metaphysical scale as well. Like time stops.
Yeah, time fucking stops on Terra.
In the second Space Wolves omnibus, they when Blackman goes to Terra, he mentions all of the civilians here hate Space Marines still with a passion.
Yeah. Because chat, I want you all to understand something about this. During the Siege of Terra, Dorn did not care to evacuate the civilians into the palace. If you got into the palace, good for you. If you weren't in the palace,
that's where Inquisitor Arcs, Lord Arcs got that from.
But if you didn't get inside the palace, well, your body is perfect for slowing the enemy down.
Yeah.
And then so you're dealing with that. You're dealing with Lord Rogel Dorn of the Imperial Fist Legion, son of the Emperor, telling you, tough luck, bud. Good luck. And then you turn around to see the frothing madmen of Horus Lupercal. And then you're lucky if you get butchered in half by a World Eater. The death is quick.
Can't forget that the Emperor's children focused almost exclusively on the civilians.
Yeah.
And remember, even on the best days, the average Imperial citizen cannot tell the difference between a loyalist Space Marine and a Chaos Space Marine. Because what makes a Space Marine to the people? The armor they wear. What's the difference between one guy in smooth armor and a guy with horns on his helmet? Not fucking much!
And if you can tell the difference, the Inquisition has questions for you.
Just watch Kill Lupercal seeing the wasteland and think it was full of cities. Oh, Kill Lupercal was fun.
Oh, yeah.
My genuine favorite bit of that, and it's just a really small thing, is just like, I'm like, oh, this makes Titans like so cool. The bit with the Shadow Sword, where they have to ascertain the position of the Shadow Sword. And it's
By
just
the
like,
acoustics?
that's so good. Yeah, that's so good.
That was awesome. Phoenix and I watched that. Actually, that entire day, me and Phoenix binged all the animations on Warhammer TV. Like, if Phoenix loved it, that's how you know it's good.
I'm basically like, give me that again, but set it on Talarn and put it inside a tank.
Oh,
what did you think of? Yes, first of all, yes, give me that 100%.
Basically, do Fury, but on Talarn.
What did you think of Angels of Death?
Angels of Death. That was the one where it was the Iron Warriors, right?
No, that's Iron
No,
Within.
that's our, which
Angels
is
of
also
Death is with
excellent.
the Blood Angels,
Oh, that one.
with the sergeant just returning from the Death Watch.
I didn't watch that one, sadly. I
I
binged.
highly recommend it. At the very least, for the art style. The art style is amazing in that.
We binged Kill Lupercal. We binged the 3-part Tithe series.
Third one is the best.
Third one is the best.
The guard one is the best. The guard one is just hands down the best.
Yes.
It's a Kill Team advert, but it's the best.
What else did we watch? I remember watching one more. We watched the Iron Warriors one.
Yes, that is. I love that one. It's so good.
But yeah,
another one that is good that they've
it
done
was-
is it Homecoming or it's Return to Cadia, whichever one it was called. That it's basically a group of like 5 soldiers. Apparently Cadians now have this pilgrimage thing that if you're descended from Cadians but you were never born on the planet, at some point during your service you have to go to the rubble essentially and touch the soil of Cadia.
I like that. That's some good flavor.
I'll be honest, for Iron
and they get there and it's things are fucked.
Of course it's fucked. I think I was mad at first when the story about Iron Within leaked, because all that we knew is that it wasn't going to be focusing on the Iron Warriors but guardsmen. I was really annoyed at that. And then
you watch the animation and you're like,
and I was like, fuck yes, this is great.
Also, for those that don't know, because I actually do like the Battle of Talern, it's really good.
Oh yeah.
For those that don't know, the Talern regiments are a famous guard regiment in 40k that come from the desert world of Talern. However, Talern was not a desert world.
I was about to say that.
It was a paradise world, and then the Iron Warriors showed up and decided, I don't remember the reason, but decided that nuking the planet back into the fucking Stone Age was the greatest idea.
I believe it's expediency. Like it's literally just it's just this is the quickest. And then what they don't realize is that the pattern of armored vehicles that the Talon Defense Forces use are entirely void sealed.
Yeah, so it was simply because the planet had no strategic value to the Iron Warriors.
So that makes sense. I didn't remember the reason why. But
then they realized they can't just leave it behind. Is the problem? They have to actually.
Yep.
So the Battle of Talern, chat, is essentially it's a irradiated hellscape, and when you are out in the tank, it is regular human crews versus Astartes crews, and both sides know one puncture in their tank is enough to kill them.
Yeah.
So it is a game of like cat and mouse in like the fields of Talern, or in like these massive battles. You'll see like your tank get hit, and then you'll see the enemy tank turn its turret to somewhere else, and you're like, what the fuck? Why are they turning around? They had a kill shot on us, and you're seeing your co-pilot like choke on his own blood.
Melt.
Yeah, melt. As you finally realize, oh, we were already dead to begin with.
Which, as it turns out, I recently learned how Vespid weapons work, and holy crap.
Oh yeah, no, they're terrifying.
Honestly, I think Talern does the whole nuclear hellscape homeland better than the Krieg do.
Well, yeah, because like they don't really talk about it for fucking.
Well, that's the point. Why are the Krieg an infantry army? Like, why are the Krieg an infantry and a siege warfare army? Why is that? Like, they come from underground hive cities that their world got turned into get turned into hellspawn, and they went into trench warfare between hive cities. Okay, that happened to the Talon, and they became mobile armor.
Yeah.
Generally, and also like expert desert fighters, because by the 41st millennium, the radiation has calmed down somewhat, and the planet is just basically Dune.
Like if
They
Krieg
become the
was
Fremen.
more if Krieg was more like Olympia with like all its
Mhm.
mountains and stuff, I could see them like, hey, we're a siege army, but
Mhm.
it's not. It's mostly just open wasteland. It doesn't make
And
sense.
no, well, yeah. Um, the reason is because they wanted a World War I
Yeah.
amalgam army, and like, how do we make that? Oh, we basically create a permanent. This is. I know I keep saying this, and it sounds like I'm like yucking people's yum a little bit, but like, the reason a lot of things are the way they are in 40K is because otherwise you don't have a game.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and it's a retroactive justification of why it's the case, but it's like, why is it this way? Because it's interesting for a board game. Because it's interesting in a video game. Like, why are, I don't know, like, why can the Emperor never get up? Why will the Emperor never recover and get up off the throne? Because if it does, the interesting thing about the theme of the Imperium is that they basically worship, that they are a commentary on like the British aristocracy, this like rotting corpse of an institution that they barely even remember why it exists in the first place, kind of thing. Um, and you can have all the in-universe like rationales for why that is, but ultimately it's because this is the theme of the game.
Yeah, and like wrapping this back around to like why I started this conversation is because like fuck, I really hate, and like I'm gonna have to deal with this for the rest of my life if this is gonna be my job. I really hate that people just make up shit to try and explain why character can do X when there's already an explanation. I fucking hated it when when it came to Star Wars: The Force Awakens, where people are like, "But Kylo Ren was a trained saber person and military person, so how did Rey beat him?" Does everyone forget that he not only just was killed his dad, so he's not
Shot.
mentally all there, and then he got shot by the fucking bowcaster? And then he exhausted himself more by fighting Finn? Rey
And also,
beating him is...
we see Rey fighting with a staff like earlier in the movie. Like, that is not like,
She knows how to fight.
I don't disagree with you, but I think the fight could have been choreographed better.
Oh, I agree on that one. I think the fight could have been choreographed better.
This is a universe where being a bush pilot makes you the best fighter pilot in the galaxy.
Yes.
Also, we're talking about magic space wizards waving wands at each other when guns exist. Don't fucking question it.
And don't forget, there's back in Legends, there was a rule that you can't just turn off your opponent's lightsaber.
Mm-hmm.
And both the Sith and Jedi agreed to it.
Because battles would just go like click, 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 click. It's done. I just it's one of those things.
And yes, there's the odd writer who thought, yes, that's dumb, so I'll come up with an entire thing about how there's an entire like outdated fighting style, but where they would try to cut through the power connector from the power pack to the lightsaber, which is why lightsabers have internal power packs, and that's entirely retroactive thinking based on a fandom that had basically run amok with its own lore because the original creator had lost all interest in it.
Sadly, Rey suffers from bad character writing. I don't agree.
No, Ray Johnson proved that she can be an amazing character.
Rian Johnson.
Rian Johnson.
Yeah, with the Last Jedi proved she can be an amazing character.
Yeah, this is I push back against Rey suffers from bad writing. She doesn't suffer from bad writing. She suffers from people not paying fucking attention. And then Rise of Skywalker happened.
And everyone suffers from Rise of Skywalker.
And everyone
like,
suffers.
Yeah.
So I want everybody to understand this. Rey, from the get-go, is not written to be a Mary Sue. She's not. I don't care what anyone says. She does not meet the definition. She is not an expert.
I mean, almost no.
And everything that is said about her and contextualized by where she grew up, how she grew up, and dialogue that you can miss. I.e., how did you know to fly the Millennium Falcon? She flew it before. And she has test flight stuff inside her AT-AT Walker home. She played with that stuff. She knows what she's doing. It is no.
Also,
she has no more experience than Luke started with.
Also, it's a Corellian. It's a Corellian freighter, and it's the most common type of Corellian. Star Wars' own expanded universe has said that the type of ship that the Millennium Falcon is one of the most common bulk freighters in the galaxy. Yeah, the YT-1300 is like now that runs, and that, as a fact, runs entirely fucking contrary to the entire theme in the original trilogy that the Millennium Falcon is an old, outdated piece of junk.
Also, compare what Rey does in all three of those movies to someone like, hey, a child, 9-year-old child, getting in a starfighter and blowing up a capital ship.
I mean,
Yep.
I complain about that one. But furthermore, really think about the force powers that Rey uses in The Force Awakens. She, at one point, she has force visions, which is completely understandable because she's finally tapping into that part of herself. And when you're... Guys, gonna say this right now, if you're tapping into the magical force, it's not gonna be a fun experience. Because it's scary and overwhelming. The next time we see her use it is when she's trying to mind trick a guard, and it doesn't work the first few times because she doesn't believe in herself, because the Force in Force Awakens is going off of the original idea that it does not matter the size of the thing. Mm-hmm. If you will also, it will happen. It's magic.
Also, there's also the people that complain, oh, I'm a Legends fan and I've never heard of Force healing. What the fuck? Force healing is brought up all the time in Legends. It's half the time how they pull bullshit character arcs that let people survive. Happens all the goddamn time.
Did you not read any of the Yu Shangvong War?
Yeah.
God, it's like every fucking book. Every fucking chapter. But
also time travel. That's literally where time travel comes from.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, Jason can do time travel. I forgot about that.
Either way, and then the last time we see her use the Force is when she grabs Anakin's lightsaber from Kylo.
Mm-hmm. Also, the guard that she tricks is
007.
James Bond.
Yeah. And
he was on set. He wanted to be in the movie.
Again, none of those things would be Mary Sue material. Remember, Mary Sue is that everyone loves her and that everyone wants to be her and that she can do no wrong. No, Rey does a lot wrong. Rey does a lot wrong because she's out of her element. She's completely at a loss of what the fuck's going on with her. And remember that she's just trying to get back to Jakku because she is entirely convinced that Mom and Dad are coming back. Even though they're not. Then you get to The Last Jedi. In that entire movie... By the way, I will defend The Last Jedi when it comes to Luke, Rey, and Kylo. I defend that part of the movie vehemently because I like it.
Yeah.
Luke Skywalker deconstructs the legend of the Jedi.
Yeah.
And to someone like Rey, who the legend of the Jedi is something to inspire, Luke is saying, no, the tale of the Jedi should not inspire you. It should be a cautionary tale about being a dumbass. and getting comfortable with power.
Also, the entire theme of the movie is collective action is more effective than individual messianic saviors. Like, that is the theme of that film. That the idea of chosen ones is an inherently bad concept, and that what you actually should do is you should work together to fight the thing that opposes you. That's
God,
why, that's what the entire plot on fucking, that's what the entire thing about
Canto Bite.
like, everyone was like, the whole Canto Bite thing is like, oh, we can just go off and find the one thing that will save us. No, there is not a one thing. That's the whole point of that.
Yeah,
there's no magical solution.
Yeah,
this magical solution is teamwork and working together and diversity and, like, you know, like diversity of, like, thought and opinion and all these things.
Yeah, it's
the Radis maneuver. I fucking hate it.
I like
so
it.
much.
You hate it. I think I thought it was awesome as fuck.
Okay. Okay. From a cinema perspective, it looked fucking amazing. I will give them that. And the sound design too was spot on. It just doesn't work from a math perspective at all.
I mean, it's Star Wars. Does anything really work from a math perspective?
I know.
Hey, Peach.
The thing I genuinely loved about that is the concept of a what people jokingly call, like, the slowest car chase in history, but, like, the idea of that, which is that we are at maximum we are outside each other's maximum range. We are both traveling at the same speed, which is both of our ships have the maximum speed, sublight. We're outside of our weapon ranges, but one of us is going to run out of fuel first, and we can't jump to hyperspace.
It's like, also, you want to know how the proof to me that the First Order was just a completely full of morons? The second Radis turns around the ship, she stops accelerating. She is now in range, and yet none of them fucking fire.
Well, yeah, because they're all fucking Proud Boy XP Nazi cosplayers.
Yeah, but from their perspective, hey, this ship that we've been chasing that we think is still full of the entire rebel command structure is now coming towards us. This is an amazing opportunity.
Okay, I'll counter you with my biggest one from the original trilogy. Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope. The Death Star arrives in system and circumnavigates the planet Yavin to blow up the moon of Yavin 4. Why the fuck does it go around the planet? It has a gun that destroys planets.
Takes 12 minutes to charge.
Through it. So?
At that time, we didn't know how long it took to recharge. That's my counter argument.
But at the time, it still makes no sense. But the point is, sometimes you don't need an explanation. Sometimes the coolness factor is enough alone. It's because by all logic in Warhammer 40K, if any of the ships in 40, like any of the Imperial ships, go into a different atmosphere, by all scientific logic, the ship should literally collapse in on itself.
Yeah.
So we don't question it. It's just ship exists. Ship is fun. Ship is cool.
It works.
It works. It's magic.
A whole bunch of this, like the 90% of, like, Imperial vehicles should be smashing through, like, the pavement of cities into, like, because apparently we just ignore the fact that these things, like, there are knights just walking through, like, cities that have, like, sublayers, and apparently the knights aren't just smashing through them because apparently their weight just disappears to the ground underneath them.
God, what the fuck is that? God, what? You know what? Let's hire the Imperial fucking labor force to make our roads for us. Because holy shit,
those things are near indestructible.
Make a fucking road.
No. Let's hire a Gene Stealer cult to do it, because they'll do it far more efficiently because they want to not be detected.
Also, they're hive mind, so they could work together.
One of the best skills in the world, working together.
Like, here's the thing.
Shame the Imperium never learned how to do that.
They manage to maintain full Imperial like production quotas completely under wraps while also organizing a revolution. They are expert multitaskers.
Also going to get started on the game
There's
here,
what
because I
competent
did
leadership
promise
can
we will
do.
be playing a horror game today. Also, yes, I will not be continuing Silent Hill F.
Valid.
That... Oh my god.
Anybody who was here for that knows why.
And
we're leaving it at that.
Chat, I got hit in the trauma a little bit. And
Wasn't fun.
wasn't fun.
I'll be honest. I'm happy I was more focused on the game I was playing than your stream.
The true strongest
I got up
faction
with it- I
for
got- I got up
40k,
with it
the
next day.
Imperial Labor Force.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm sorry the game did that to you. Don't apologize. I didn't know. And there's no way to know. The game just warns you about graphic content and very dark themes.
Which it has.
Which
Like,
it has.
Yeah.
Like, how it, like, I have friend trauma. Because, like, my former friend group was absolutely horrible to me. And just seeing, your character dump one of them in lava, abandon another in the darkness, and hang the last one for, the crimes of, one, being an awful bitch, a jealous, envious bitch, which, one of my friends was, a person that was overbearingly reliant on you for, like, no, to the point of, like, suffocation, which another friend was to me, and then a fence sitter who allowed these abuses to happen. Yeah, no, that hit me like a punch to the fucking face.
You're not alone.
So yeah, like I can't finish Silent Hill F. Even though apparently like I was right at the end, I don't want to finish it because I'm just like, nope, I'm good. So instead we're gonna play Outlast.
It's fine. You can watch the endings on YouTube.
Oh, I already read up on the endings and everything. The reason why Silent Hill F exists is because the game designers wanted to make a game where it focused on the perceptions of women and societal expectation, how damaging that is to generations of people, and how the unfair burdens and expectations we put on women not only like it affects everybody. It doesn't just affect women, it affects men too. Cause your character in the game, Hanako's dad, he is a verbally abusive individual, and the mom comes off as very like seen but not heard kind of a thing. In order to find out why, you need to get to the best ending of the game. And the reason why that Hinako's father is a verbally abusive asshole is because it's the 1960s, and he is currently bearing the burden of trying to be a breadwinner in economic recovery Japan, while also paying for his wife's surgery because the mom has a debilitating condition that needs a very expensive surgery to be fixed, which is stressing him out more. He has to keep up an appearance outside the home of professionalism and in control, and then he gets put into a very unfavorable position where he's offered a lot of money, but he has to give one of his daughters away.
Also, based on his age, he probably served in World War II, too.
Oh, yeah.
Which,
So-
if you know anything about the Japanese army in World War II, he probably did and saw horrible shit.
Oh, yeah. It is heavily implied. So... the poor guy...
I kind of, like, I sort of respect, like, the developers at Konami for having the balls to put that out, honestly. Like,
Oh, yeah, no, that is balls to the wall. And note, from Hinako's perspective, your character's perspective, yeah, your dad's an asshole. But then you start playing, like, you start trying to get to the best ending of the game, you start finding all of the notes in all of the journals of everyone else, and you're getting their perspectives. The dad feels horrible because he feels useless, he feels worthless, because he can't emotionally understand where his daughter is at. He can't emotionally come out because of the expectations of their village and the society they live in, and he is barely keeping it together, and he feels like he's failing his wife. And by the way, the best ending of the game is Hinako goes home and she meets with her father, who turns around to her and bows at her feet, begging for forgiveness. Because, guess what? People talk when you're not around. And the mom and him had a very long discussion during the events of the game. And that discussion was, you are treating Hinako terribly. What the fuck is going on with you? And he explains it all to her, because they're husband and wife. For better or for worse, we work together to solve things. And no, the game does not justify the father being a prick. It does not justify it. It explains it. Because the game was written with the help of sociologists and psychologists who are telling you to your face, understanding someone does not mean that that the game is forgiving them. It is up to you, the player, to decide if you forgive him or not. Because at the end of the day, you don't have to forgive people for their abuse. You can understand it, but understanding does not mean forgiveness.
And on that happy note,
Now let's play Outlast Whistleblower. Shall we?
I'm just happy you made a Custodes video today.
I talked about the King in Yellow. I knew you would love that.
Yeah.
T-Com got his gold fetish for the
and,
day.
like, that being said, like, all the people that are like, "Oh, the King of Yellow is going to come back and it's going to do this." No, it's not. It's a Dan Abnett book that is literally going to end in that is going to end in a stalemate with the sword of Damocles hanging over something. Like, he is not
Always
coming.
there's a sword of Damocles.
They are not going to bring Constantine Valdor into 40k.
Yeah, no, he's also an old fuck by this point. He would be,
Yeah.
like, still a Custodes, but
well,
not anywhere near where he
he-
was in the Horse Heresy.
No, he'd be
Having read
Oh, hi.
having read Penitent, where they think he is actually a space that is outside of time. so potentially
Hey,
he's
why
not
are you-
actually old.
Why are you wearing a gas mask, sir? Oh.
Well, even
don't have to wake up.
then, he
But open your
is the first eye of the Emperor, so
Mhm.
Who knows?
even
don't know
if he's the one that started that tradition. That is confirmed.
What's the matter? Somebody hit
So
you?
even if he wasn't the first, he's one of the first.
Yeah.
And we know he was with
I got
with the Emperor during the Unification Wars. So even without the fucky wucky time stuff, he's 11,000 years old at this point.
Oh,
So yeah, he's an
happy about
old
it?
fuck.
shit.
And
Come on.
even Custodes' age.
Oh god, they're bombarding me with Rorschach tests! I can't handle bad incels!
Boobs.
Or
Boobs.
at least the custodians think the age.
Yeah.
What does this remind you of? Girls. I ain't a lollipop, Doc. I am not a lollipop.
Sometimes a cigar is just a cigar, and sometimes it's a grenade. A CIA.
Sometimes a camera's a camera, sometimes it's a pistol.
Sometimes a Hershey bar is a grenade.
Mm-hmm.
Terrible things happen there.
God,
Don't
the
understand
amount
it,
of
don't
ways
believe
the
half the
CIA
things I
tried to
saw.
kill
Doctors saw my
Castro.
dream therapy going too deep, finding something that waiting for them in the mountain. People are being hurt, and Murkoff is making money. It needs to be exposed.
The amount of ways the CIA tried to kill Castro is just...
Cigar bombs.
Oh, and you can't forget about Operation Acoustic Kitty.
The fuck was that one?
That was the CIA's plan to create a cyborg cat by implanting listening devices into it,
Mhm.
and then basically putting it into the Kremlin. And they spent, I think it was like $3 million on this project. And the second they let the cat go, it was hit by a car and died.
It's like the story of
my
the Russians. Like it's like the story of the Russians training the dogs to take explosives underneath the tanks.
The German tanks.
But the problem is they only had Russian tanks to train the dogs with. So when they actually deployed the dogs immediately ran towards the Russian tanks and blew them up.
Well, also it was a stress thing because they did not stress inoculate the dogs to gunfire or explosions at all, so they would get scared and return to their handlers.
I'm just looking around. I'm just looking around right now because
Which was a problem so bad that it totally didn't stop the Americans from then doing that during the Gulf, and also not stress training your dogs.
how long was the Unification Wars? The Unification Wars didn't end until late M29, early M30.
Yeah.
We don't exactly
we don't really have a number on how long it lasted either.
They are, however, cool as shit, and I won a game set during them.
Well,
You're never gonna get it.
I know, but people
thought
wrote
you were
a fan one that uses Age of Sigmar.
I was told that I'm just a software guy. Well, dude, look at all this hardware in here. It's like you gotta update all the software inside all this stuff. You know, all the good shit. Hello, gentlemen.
We're not being given enough information to trust Wernicke's predictions. I just want to know we're inventing something.
Other than shiny new cancers. What do you mean shiny new cancers, guys?
Cancer is not supposed to be shiny.
Parts per million, yeah.
If your cancer is shiny, I think you have bigger problems than cancer.
Why weren't you answering the page? I'll tell them you're incoming.
Why wasn't I answering the page? Well, you see, sir, I believe that this is a corrupt government agency, and I am blowing the proverbial whistle on you. Specifically you, sir. Because you're a dick. Because you're in cock block. You see, chat, he's in the C block, so he's in the cock block. Aren't you a handsome man? Aren't you a handsome lad? Look at those brown eyes. Handsome. Wait. I should probably just stream this game as well to you guys, so that way you guys get, like, see what I see with live.
Okay.
There we go. And then stream.
But like, no, seriously, GW, like, give us something set during the, or like just like we need more people to like be playing the one set during the Unification Wars, because they're super interesting and like all the factions are just bonkers and weird.
Ooh.
I could see the unification of the Soul system being a game.
Oh, that would also be super, super sweet.
Did my game
Potentially.
crash?
We get to get the fighting against the weird like pirate witch things around Uranus as well.
All crazy things that are out there in Soul.
Uh-oh.
Did it just crash?
It's not letting me interact with anything.
Or the them
Uh-oh.
fighting on the floating cities of Venus. That'd be sweet.
Uh-oh.
Honestly, though, just imagine the opening cinematic of the assault on Luna.
Oh, no.
What?
I can't get to my task manager.
Oh dear.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
You have to restart your PC.
Oh,
about
God,
that?
no.
Well,
What
that-
the fuck? Can I not
Hey,
move
it's-
task manager over to me?
This is why I always put Task Manager on one of my other monitors.
I thought I did, but fucking god damn it.
I hate this type of crap.
This is the worst crash. This is the worst. Come on. Even Alt F4 isn't working. Even Alt F4 isn't working, chat! Oh, now nothing's working. Oh, shit. What is this game doing to my PC? Oh, no. It's not even connecting Discord. Oh, Jesus Christ. What the fuck? All right, chat. Well, I'll be right back, so don't you go anywhere. I have to restart my fucking PC. So I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. I'll post the new link when it's up. Son of a bitch.